This is Chris Kill with your Peak Fitness Workout A. For Workout A, our workout consists of 3 circuits of 3 exercises each. For our first circuit, I want you to perform each exercise for 6 to 8 reps back to back. If you can get more than 8 reps for any of the exercises listed in the circuit, I want you to move up in the difficulty or the weight as instructed. If you cannot get 6 reps, I want you to move down. There's in either the weight or the difficulty. There's no shame in that. So with that said, I'm just going to demonstrate each exercise. I want you to perform this circuit 3 times. Again, each exercise back to back 3 times, and then move on to our next circuit. For our first circuit, our first exercise is a push-up. All right, for the push-up, I'm just going to take a pillow, a pad, or just whatever you have available to me. I'm going to use this as my target. I'm going to bring my feet off the floor here. I want to keep my back flat, shoulder blades down, come down, touch the pad or the target, and come back up. Alright, for this, I'm looking for a fast up in a slow lowering pace, pause at the bottom, and come back up. If you find that you cannot do this with proper form, what we can do to regress this exercise a little bit is simply move onto a box or a higher surface like a table and do the same thing. Just come down, pause at the bottom, and come back up. The same scheme can be utilized all the way up to even starting on a wall. So, if I can't do it here, I might move up to, a higher step or a bench, and then again even up to a wall. To make this harder, what we can do is simply put your feet on an exercise bench or, a box. So what I'm going to do here is place my feet on the box. Again, my back is flat, abs are tight, pause at the bottom, come up 6 to 8 times. Alright, now for our second exercise, we have a split squat. Alright, for the split squat, what I'm going to do is assume a split stance, again, over a target. So I've got a blue pad under me here. You can use anything from, a carpet square to a pillow. Whatever you have available to you. I want you to pause at the bottom. Everything stays straight. I want my knee over my toe. I'm trying to keep everything straight here as I come up. Pause at the top, come back down. Again, I'm looking for 6 to 8 reps. To make this exercise harder, what we can do is simply elevate the feet on a step or a bench, the back foot, and do the same thing. So again, I'm dropping it down, pausing at the bottom, and coming back up. Alright, from here what I can do is add a little bit of weight. So I'm going to take a dumbbell here. I'm going to hold it in what is called a goblet position. So my hands are like this. Place my back foot on the step, come down, come back up. Again, I'm keeping my knee over my toe. I'm pressing straight to the heel of the front foot, and I'm trying not to tip forward. So, you want to keep the weight shifted into the heel here of the front foot as opposed to coming forward to the toe. That's very important. Alright, now for our third and final exercise in this circuit, what I'm going to do is line my back. Alright, I want you to think about tightening your abs, pressing your back into the floor as you're doing this exercise. This is called an alternating toe tap. Alright, so my feet are up like this, keeping my abs tight. I'm just reaching down and tapping the floor in front of me. Alright, with this, I'm looking for 8 reps on each side. So that would be like 1, 1, 2, 2, etc. To make this exercise a little easier, what we can do is just bring the knees in a little bit, or bring the feet in a little bit. Make it harder. You can simply come out a little bit and just increase the distance from your feet to your butt here. Alright, now again, I want you to go through that 3 times, and we're going to move on to our second circuit of 3 exercises. Alright, now for our first exercise in our second circuit, we have a lat pull down. Alright, for the lat pull down, what I'm going to do is I've got a cable system here. I have 2 handles. We can either do it with this, or you can use a lat pull down attachment, so a straight bar. It really doesn't matter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set up here. This can also be done seated, but I want to get a pretty wide grip here, very wide grip actually. I'm going to come onto my knees here, chest is up. I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades down and back. Just pulling down, again pausing at the bottom, reaching up, getting a stretch at the top, really getting a good stretch. Fast down, up slow. Again, I'm looking for 6 to 8 reps. Alright, now for our second exercise, we have what is called a single leg deadlift. Alright, and for the single leg deadlift, what I'm going to do, let's see, make sure that's correct. Yes, single leg deadlift. Alright, so for the single leg deadlift, what I've got, I'm just going to take a dumbbell here, or a kettlebell is even better if you have it, but I'm just going to come on one leg. Alright, what I want to do is slide my back leg along the ground, pause at the bottom, and come back up to the top. Alright, so I'm really bending this front knee. I'm keeping this dumbbell here right next to my shin. and I'm coming straight back up. Again, I'm trying to get my back as flat as possible. Back leg is sliding back behind me here, and I'm coming back up. All right, really focus on bending this front knee, trying not to let the dumbbell come too far in front of you. I want it right down here next to my foot. Try to bring it as far to the ground as you can comfortably, and come back up, all right? Once again, 6 to 8 reps on each side, and we're going to finish up with what is called a band press. All right, for the band press, what I'm going to do, I've looped stretch bands here around I guess the shelf here of the cable system, or you can use just the handle of a cable system. What I'm going to do is just bring this out, again keeping my abs tight. I'm going to hold this out here. I just want to hold this for a 10 count on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And I'm going to come out to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm starting here, pressing out, holding for a 10 count, and coming back. Once again, I'm performing each exercise for 6 to 8 reps, 3 times through, and I'm moving to our third and final circuit. For our third and final circuit, our first exercise is a tricep pushdown. Okay, and for the tricep pushdown, we can either use a hammer grip here if you have it. This is something that you'll find in most gyms, or you can take 2 or 1 handle like this here, and you can just hold it in this position and push down. All right, but for the purposes of this video, I'll just demonstrate the hammer grip here. What I want to do is bring it up here, bring my elbows to my side here, chest is up. I want to keep my shoulder blades down and back. I'm trying to keep my elbows squeezed to my sides the whole time. I'm just pressing down, pausing at the bottom, flaring my hands out a little bit, and coming back up. Again, you can do that one up to 15 reps. All right, we're going to move on to our second exercise, which is a side-lying leg lift. All right, for the side-lying leg lift, ideally you would set up against the wall. I don't really have a wall to demonstrate here, but what I'm going to do is just lie on my side. Toes are flexed up like this. I'm placing my hand here into the kind of my side of my butt cheek here. This is where we want to get this. So I'm pressing down in this area, just raising up and down very slowly, trying to keep my top foot a little bit behind my bottom foot here. So again, I'm just moving up and down. You'll notice I'm not slacking at all. I'm trying to keep tension in this muscle the entire time, as opposed to putting my foot down. All right. So again, I'm looking for up to 15 reps here. Just up and down, my toes flex back towards me, and just again push down into this muscle. You really feel this start to fatigue, and that's what we're looking for, as opposed to feeling this at all in the front of the hip. All right, so again, 15 reps on each side. All right, we move on to our final exercise, which is let's see what we got, a band pullback. All right, for the band pullback, I'm just going to take a band here. I've got a stretch band here. I'm just going to loop it around my hands here. I'm sticking my chest out, thinking about keeping my shoulder blades down and back. I'm just pulling back, pausing, and coming back together. Pulling back, pausing, and coming back together. Once again, with all of these exercises, move with a very slow and controlled pace. We're trying to target a specific muscle here, so really think about just squeezing the muscle the entire time, keeping tension on it, telling it to develop. That's really the purpose of this circuit in particular. So with that said, you can go, I only want you to do 2 sets of that particular circuit, all right? So as opposed to 3 of the 2 main strength circuits, we're just going to do 2 of this third circuit. And then we finish off with our conditioning, all right? Conditioning really is something that is optional. This is something that I want you to do, but if you're feeling fatigued after the first few workouts, you can forego this portion of it. But going forward, this is going to be important to help with, assist in our fat loss and really get things going on. So with that said, for this first month, we have what are called 2010s. All right, with the 2010, I'm going to give you an exercise. I'm going to give you 4 exercises to choose from. All right, I want you to choose one and perform 20 seconds of intense work, followed by 10 seconds of rest, and repeat 5 to 8 times. All right. With that said, our choices are a burpee. All right, a burpee is just starting in a push-up position here. I'm going to hop to my feet, give a little jump at the top, and come back down. All right, this exercise can also be done in a similar fashion to a push-up. It can be done off a box to make it a little bit easier, and we would bring it to the ground to make it harder. All right, our next choice would be a skier. All right, for the skier, what I'm going to do is just take a band like this. I have the band looped around I guess the shelf of this machine here. And what I'm doing is I'm just getting my legs wide, and I'm just coming up and down. I'm pulling the band up and down. I'm pulling the band between my legs here, it's coming over my head. So just so you can see me a little better, I'll come to the side here, down and up. Just as fast as I can for 20 seconds. Alright, our third exercise is a treadmill sprint. Obviously I don't have a treadmill here, but that's pretty self-explanatory. Set the treadmill to a speed that is very challenging for you. Hop on for 20 seconds, hop off for 10, and repeat 5 to 8 times. Alright, our third and final exercise, or our fourth and final exercise is a mountain climber. Alright, for the mountain climber, again I'm going to set up on the floor here, keeping my abs tight, trying to keep my butt down, and I'm tucking my knees to my chest. Alright, I'm going as fast as I can. And if I need to make this easier, I'll simply move onto a box, right? A common error that I see with a mountain climber is somebody doing it like this, where their feet are on the ground. I want you tucking your knees to your chest so the feet never touch the ground. Alright, so if you need to come onto a box to make that happen, go for it, but that is the goal. So with that said, perform this exercise as prescribed. Record your results in your workout chart. Send me any questions that you have, and I'm about to describe workout B.